I've given you sunshine, I've given you rain. You've given me nothing but heartache and pain. I'm begging you sweetly, I will go down on my knees. Oh, please grow for me. Aww. Hi there, boys and girls. Welcome to Gateway Kids Club Storytelling. My name is Dwayne, and I was just trying to get my plant to grow. You see, I just planted a seed, but I don't seem to be having luck with this plant growing. Have you ever grown a plant before? You have? What are some things that require for a plant to grow? Sunlight. Okay, I've got that sunlight. Water. Okay, I've watered the plant. Fertilizer. Okay, good. Talk to the plant. Oh, yeah, I've sung to the plant. Time. Okay, time. Wait, did you say time? Oh, of course. I need time for the plant to grow. Considering I just planted this seed. Okay, I'm going to put you here. And well, I guess plants don't grow instantly, not like this one. Okay, boys and girls, I'm going to wait for my plant to grow. In the meantime, while we wait, I've got a story that I'd like to share with you. Would you like to hear it? Great. This story is a very heartwarming story. It's a story about a boy who was different from his friends. It's a story about a girl who had a special quality to her. It's a story about a blossoming friendship. This is the story about the boy who grew flowers. Once upon a time, there lived a boy called Rink Bow Wagon. He lived right on top of Lonesome Mountain. Now, to get to Lonesome Mountain, you'd have to go on foot. You would have to walk through this dirt track, and then it would lead to a footpath, and then you come to this thick, luscious forest with ancient trees, and you go through the forest, and the clearing would appear, and there stood in front of you Lonesome Mountain. And on top of Lonesome Mountain was a cottage, and that cottage is where Rink Bow Wagon lived. He lived with his family, the Bow Wagon family. In fact, they were the only family that lived on top of that mountain. The townspeople said that they were a very strange family. Rink's Uncle Dud, he kept a pet rattlesnake in his bed over here. And his mother, they said that she would carry a huge bowling bag as a purse to keep her coins. And the grandmother was said to be raised by a pack of wolves. However, Rink had something special about him as well. Every night, during the full moon, something would happen. No, he wouldn't become a werewolf. Something beautiful and magical would happen. He would sprout flowers all over his body. He would sprout the most beautiful pink flowers. They were the sweetest smelling flowers anyone had ever seen and smelt. Well, if you sprout flowers all over your body, chances are you wouldn't want to be seen with them and you wouldn't want to go to school because you might scare people away. But Rink didn't want to stay home. He really loved going to school. So the next morning, after a full moon, Rink's mother would carefully clip all the flowers and send him off to school. Rink really enjoyed studying and learning. Hey, boys and girls, do you like going to school? What are some things that you like about school? Your friends, you get to hang out with your friends at recess. PE? How many of you like PE and exercising? Oh, yeah. What about arts and crafts? I really loved art class last time. What are some things that you don't like about school? Don't worry, I won't tell your mommy and daddy. Waking up early in the morning, that's right. And homework, how many of you actually like homework? Well, Rink Bow Wagon, however, he loved his homework. He loved studying and learning. However, he was a very quiet and shy boy and didn't socialize very much. So his teacher put his table right at the back of the classroom and didn't bother with him. His classmates, they kept a safe distance from him. They didn't want to talk to him because they had heard all sorts of strange things about him. Boys and girls, if you were Rink's classmate, what would you do? Well, if I was his classmate, I would go up to him and get to know him and say hi and introduce myself, find out what he likes, and then maybe he won't seem so strange after all. One day, there was a new girl that came to class. Her name was Angelina Quiz. Her family had moved into town, and the family was in a ballroom dancing business. She was a beautiful young girl. However, her left leg was an inch shorter than her right leg. She wore a flower at the back of her ear. She was kind and beautiful and honest and had a sweet, lovely smile on her face. Rink liked her at once. In fact, everyone in class liked her and started talking to her. Now, she noticed that Rink was sitting at the back of the class, and she wondered why he was so quiet. So she asked one of the classmates, "Hey, Bob, could I find out why is Rink always so quiet at the back?" "Oh, shh, don't talk so loud. I hear that his Uncle Dud keeps a rattlesnake with him in his room. He's so weird. Oh, and I also hear that his mother carries a huge bowling bag as a purse where she keeps the coins. Who does that? Oh, and I hear that his grandmother was raised by a pack of wolves. Ooh, they are so weird. I can't imagine how weird he would be. Have you ever spoken to him before?" Yeah. No? Suddenly, the room became really quiet. They realized that no one had ever spoken to Rink. They only talked behind his back. Boys and girls, if you were Rink, how would you feel? I'd feel really sad that no one took time to get to know me, but they only just talked behind my back. I'm sure he would feel really sad. Well, one day, the class teacher announced that there would be a dance where everybody would gather in the church hall and have a dance together. It was a ballroom evening. Now, everyone was really, really excited. They all went up to Angelina and asked her to be their dance partner. But Angelina graciously declined. I'm afraid I won't make a very good dance partner. I'm sorry, you might have to find someone else. Rink heard about this. He was wondering, Angelina came from a family of ballroom dancers. Wouldn't dancing be comfortable for her? What was she so afraid about? And then he had a realization. And so he darted out of the classroom when no one was looking. Well, no one noticed. Only Angelina noticed. She turned behind and noticed that he had disappeared. She was curious. Where could he have gone to? Who would have thought a quiet boy would make such an impact? Well, Rink was really excited. He ran back home, up to Lonesome Mountain. He went straight to his Uncle Dud's room, and there he rummaged under the bed till he found this green snake skin that the pet snake had molted. Boys and girls, do you know what molting means? Well, you see, a snake molts its skin. It means it sheds its skin every now and then. Imagine it coming out of an old pair of socks and leaving it behind. Well, that's what happened for snakes. That's what happened to Uncle Dud's pet, the rattlesnake. So he took the snake skin and then he went to find some needle and thread. Then he went to the barn to get a saddle. He put all the materials in front of him. And then he cleared his mind. He started thinking about the shape and the size of Angelina's feet. He started thinking about how one foot was higher than the other. Then he had an idea. He was going to make a pair of shoes, a pair of special shoes for Angelina. So he cut and sewed and pasted and stuck together. He continued working all through Friday until he was finally done on Saturday morning. Then he created the most beautiful pair of green snakeskin shoes. Now, one side was higher than the other. Check this out. He was really excited to give it to Angelina. He thought finally she would be able to stand up straight and tall and be able to be balanced. He started thinking about how she would be dancing the night away at the ball. He thought so hard and he was so happy that even though it was not a full moon, flowers started sprouting from his head. Now, he didn't want to waste any time, so he headed to Angelina's house. Angelina, in the meantime, was at home. She was sewing a beautiful dress for her mother for a dance concert, but she was thinking about Rink. Why wasn't he here on Friday in school? I wonder how he is. Maybe I'll ask him. Then suddenly there was a knock on the door. Toc, toc, toc. It was Rink. Rink stood there and he was carrying his brand new pair of shoes. Hi, Angelina. I made you these. These are a pair of shoes for you. They're made from snakeskin. I hope you like them. Try them on. Maybe you'll be able to go for the dance after all. So, Angelina tried on the pair of shoes. She wriggled her toes until her foot fit snugly into the pair of green snakeskin shoes. And then she tried standing up. Suddenly, for once in her life, she felt balance. She wasn't off balance. She could stand up straight and tall and confident. She took a step. And then another step. And then she started skipping around and twirling and dancing. She was so excited. She asked Rink immediately, Rink, thank you so much for this pair of beautiful shoes. Would you like to go to the dance with me? I would, but I don't know how to ballroom dance. I'm not good at it. I'll teach you, silly. My family are ballroom dancers. I've learned a thing or two from them. Come on. And so she grabbed Rink by the hand and they dashed out of the door and started dancing down the path. It was a beautiful night at the dance. The both of them danced together all night. Bum 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 da 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 da. After the dance, Rink walked her home. They sat down under a beautiful, huge oak tree and they talked. She told him all about her family, and Rink told her all about his. Then it was time to tell her about the flowers. His heart was pounding. He was so nervous. He took a deep breath. Angelina, I have something to tell you. Every full moon, something happens. I sprout flowers all over my body. Will you still be my friend? There was a smile on Angelina's face. And then she said, of course, but I too have a secret to tell you. She bent her head low, revealing the flower that she wore behind her ear. And she told Rink that this flower grew from behind her ear. It sprouted from behind her ear just like how Rink would sprout flowers during the full moon. Will you still be my friend? The two of them became best of friends immediately. They were so happy that they shared something special together. Well, she continued to wear the snakeskin shoes all the way until they were worn out. But it was okay, because Rink would then make shoes for her every other time. And he continued to make shoes for her for the past 25 years. That's right, the both of them got married. And together they lived on Lonesome Mountain. Oh, it's not called Lonesome Mountain anymore, by the way. It's called Sweet Blossom Hill. Now, gardening became their way of making a living. In fact, it was a family business because together they had 7 children and all of them were born with a green thumb. Do you know what a green thumb is, boys and girls? It's not that your thumb is literally green, but it's someone who's able to plant and grow flowers really easily. So, well, who better to learn from their father, the boy? The boy who grew flowers. The end. Oh, wow. What a beautiful, sweet story. I'm so happy that Rink found love and friendship and meaning to life. Boys and girls, what did you learn from this story? Well, I've learned that it's important to be thoughtful and kind to people that might be a bit different. Some people might be born different or special from us, And we don't know how they might be feeling. Sometimes they might talk funny, they might look funny, they might do things differently. In fact, some of them might be in a wheelchair. And we don't know how they might be feeling. They might be feeling sad, or lonely, or even scared. But what we can do is to go up to them, say hi, introduce ourselves, help them to feel comfortable and loved and safe. Why don't you try that if you have the opportunity to? If you enjoyed today's story, please click like and subscribe to our channel. For more updates on Gateway Kids Club and activities, as well as our weekly arts and craft projects, please follow us on Facebook or Instagram. Mommies and daddies, Gateway Kids Club is a free program, and your donation helps to keep this club running, as well as support artists like myself. To donate, please click on the link below or visit our website. Well, see you next week as I tell you another story about a beautiful friendship between a little girl and a huge giant. I gotta go now. I'm gonna see if my plant will grow. It's been some time since we told this story. Okay, see you next week, boys and girls. Okay, I need the full moon for this. Okay, are you ready to grow for me? I've given you sunlight. I've given you rain. Now I've got a full moon. Please don't be such a pain. I'm begging you sweetly. I'm done.